Hi y'all. So I wanted to go through the train strum a little more. I don't think I've kind of assumed people that I've changed it up a little bit, and I think I've assumed people knew what I was talking about when I would go do it on some songs. So I want to break it down a little more and go through how you can practice it. So they're going to start with just a plain train strum. So this doesn't have a chunk or anything in it. So there's two parts to this strum. And the first part, it's just a thumb. Your thumb, you want where you're going to start out. Let me back up. Where you're going to start out, you're going to take your thumb and your first finger. Your thumb's going to be on the top of the neck, right where the body and the neck come together, right above the fourth string. Your finger's going to be down here at the bottom of the neck, where the neck and the body come together. Right? So your thumb and your finger make a little V like this, and that's how you're going to start out. The rest of your fingers are going to be down here, kind of relaxed. And the first part of this strum is just the thumb and an upstroke. So it's thumb, up, thumb, up, thumb, up. The thumb hits, and then the upstroke is just your index finger, up, thumb, up. When you come back after the up, your thumb will come back here on the top of the neck. Your finger will go right back down here at the bottom. Thumb, up, thumb, up, thumb, up. The way you count that, this is the first beat. So it's one, and, 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 one, and. Now you see, I don't know if you may not be able to see, but when we come up, that upstroke, we end up with our finger wrapped underneath here in kind of a, I don't know, a light fist. So your fingers end up like this. Thumb, up, thumb, up, thumb, up, thumb, up, thumb, up. So if you're starting out, if you're having trouble with this, just practice that first part. Thumb, up, thumb, up, thumb, up, thumb, up, thumb, up, thumb, up. So that's the first part of the strum. The second part starts at the end of that. So we've come up, and our fingers are wrapped up in our palm like that, like in a real loose fist. And then the second part is a down, so it's down. But what we're going to do when we do the down, I'm going to shoot all my fingers out. Down, up, down, up. Down with all my fingers, down, and then up with just my index, up. So that's the second half of that strum. It's going to be down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now when I say all my fingers, I'm going to shoot all my fingers out. But most of the time when I'm doing it, I'm hitting it with 2 or maybe 3 fingers. The key is you don't want to just have one. You want to have multiple fingers hitting the strings on that down. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, that's the second half. And then when you put it together, it's going to be thumb, up, down, up, 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 thumb, up, down, up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and thumb, up, down, up, thumb, up, down, up, thumb, up, down, up, down, up. So if you're having trouble, break it into those two parts and practice those two parts separately, and then put the whole thing together. It's a little tricky, but it's really not hard. Now, one of the things you'll notice when you play this, on all of the beats, the 1, the 3, the 4, and all the ands, we're using basically one finger, one thumb. Except, the only exception is on the 2 and the 4, where we do that down, we're using multiple fingers. What that does is it puts an emphasis on the 2 and the 4, and that's really what makes this a train strum. We could do the whole thing with just one finger. Thumb up, down, up, thumb up, down, up, thumb up, down, up, thumb up. You see, every one of those strums is kind of at the same volume. That would be like, I would think of that like a country strum, you know, goodbye Joe, we gotta go, me oh my oh. We gotta go, pull that P-road down the bayou. As opposed to this train strum. Woo-woo. So that's, the difference may be subtle, but in my ear, or my warped mind, that's where I hear the difference. Now, that same strum, then, we can use to make a train chunk strum by replacing those downstrokes with all our fingers. We don't really replace them. We just add a chunk to the end. So I'm still hitting all the strings with all my fingers, or most of them, or as many as I can get on the strings. By the time, about the time I'm on the last string, I let this part of my hand hit the strings. So it would be thumb up, chunk up, thumb up, chunk up, thumb up, chunk up, thumb up, chunk up, thumb up, chunk up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 2 and 3 and 4 and thumb up, chunk up, thumb up, chunk up, thumb up, chunk up. So when you're practicing it, what I do when I practice these kinds of things, I'll count it out loud, or a lot of the times I'll say the what I'm doing. So I'll say thumb up, down, up, thumb up, down, up, thumb up, down, up, down, up, thumb up, down. It really helps get it solidified in your mind. Okay, let's just do a couple of songs. Now for both of these songs, you could use either the plain train strum or the train chunk. So this first one, Folsom Prison Blues, everybody knows this tune. I haven't really practiced it, so I'll have to apologize in advance. I'm going to do the plain train strum. So thumb up, down, up, thumb up, down, up, thumb up, down, up, thumb up, down. Okay, let's try this song. Thumb up, down, up, down, 3, 1, 2, 3. I hear a train a-comin', it's rolling round the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. That train keeps a-rolling on down to San Antone. So I can't go low. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy. Won't ever play with guns, but I shot a man in Reno just to watch Now every time I hear that whistle blowing, sorry, I hang my head and cry. I started listening to the Strum and forgot where I was. 1, 2, 3. I bet there's rich folks eating in a fancy dining car, probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars. But I know I had it coming. I know I can't be free. But those people keep moving, and that's what tortures me. Well, if they'd free me from this prison, the railroad train was mine, bet I'd move it all a little further down the line, far from Folsom Prison. It's where I want to stay. I'd let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away. So that's a pretty good song for this Strum, because it stays steady all the way through. And probably everybody knows that. Okay, the next song, again, you could use the train strum or the train chunk. I'm going to use the train chunk on this song. Got a D, a G, and an A. I'll just play through this twice. So I'm going to start on the train chunk. So thumb up, chunk up, thumb up, chunk up, thumb up, chunk up, thumb up, chunk up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Thought I heard that Casey when she blows. Thought I heard that Casey when she blows. Thought I heard that Casey when she blows. Blows just like my woman was on board. Thumb up, chunk up, thumb up, chunk up. 1, 2, 3. When I get back on that Casey road, when I get back on that Casey road, when I get back on that Casey road, gonna love that baby like I never loved before. Thumb up, chunk up, thumb up, chunk up. Back to the top. Thought I heard that Casey when she blows. Thought I heard that Casey when she blows. Thought I heard that Casey when she blows. Blown just like my woman was on board. Thumb up, chunk up, thumb up, chunk up. 1, 2, 3. When I get back on that Casey road, when I get back on that Casey road, when I get back on that Casey road, gonna love that baby like I never loved before. Gonna love that baby like I never loved before. Gonna love that baby like I never loved before. Okay. So I hope that helps with the train strum a little bit. The main thing I think for any of these is to practice it slowly and count out loud. once you have it consistent, then and you don't have to think about what what you're doing, where the chunk comes or where the thumb and the up is. And then it becomes automatic, and it's a lot easier to implement in a song. But that's just a matter of practice. Sit in front of your TV and do it until your dog starts howling. Alrighty. So y'all take care. I hope to see everybody soon.